Performance max campaigns are like a blessing to Google Ads, and there is absolutely no reason why you should not be using them. But if you aren't using them right now, don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to give you a complete breakdown as to what performance campaigns really are, how they perform compared to your other campaign types, if they're even worth it or not. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up a performance max campaign. But you will need to stick until the end to understand exactly what a performance max campaign is. And now, for this video, I did a lot of research, so go ahead and hit that like button down below just for that, because this video is jam-packed with a lot of value. And here's a cute picture of a turtle for liking the video. Now, for those of you that don't know, performance max campaigns were officially launched earlier this year in 2022 as a way for Google Ads to kind of increase the overall types of campaigns offered on the platform. And performance max campaigns are basically one of its own kind. Now, to put it in simple terms, performance max campaigns were basically created for Google Ads users like you and me to have entry into multiple different search placements without really needing to do the extra work, without really needing to go the extra mile. And I'll be elaborating more on this very shortly. But I kind of, after doing a lot of analysis, put this into two different things as to why performance max campaigns were really created and exactly what they are. So the first thing is ease of use. Performance max campaigns make it extremely easy for you to now just quit having to worry about 10 different campaigns, one for display, one for search, one targeting YouTube, and another campaign being the Discover campaign. Because now performance max campaign, it basically jams all of these different placements together inside of one to give you, the performance max campaign. And it is extremely helpful for a lot of individuals for a variety of different reasons. Of course, again, as I already said, ease of use. So you don't have to worry about having multiple different campaigns. You don't have to worry about handling all these, because now you can just handle one directly. The main benefit of having something like this, in my opinion, is that it is now going to use all of the data that it is getting from these different placements to combine it as a whole inside this one campaign, thus making it extremely powerful. That is one of the best benefits of a performance max campaign, because as you guys already know, and if you don't know, Google Ads works off of the data that accumulates. So a performance max campaigns is gonna kind of be one step ahead of these other standard shopping campaigns or even the smart shopping campaigns, just because of the sheer fact that it is targeting multiple placements. It has the ability to know exactly what your right audience is from different signals. So in my opinion, again, a performance max campaign is extremely powerful, much more powerful than whatever Google has had to offer so far. And this brings me to the next point as to why they're so beneficial and exactly why Google Ads may have even released them in the first place. And that is more to do with automation. Now, in the last video which I released, which was a case study video of a client store which I handled, I talked a lot about automation and how smart shopping campaigns can really give you that next level of automation. If you haven't already checked that video out, the link is in the top right above my head. Go ahead and watch that video after this one. But performance max campaigns take it one step further with the automation, because now you are automating all of these different placements. You're basically automating bidding once again. But the interesting thing is, with performance max campaigns, you don't even have the option to look at the conversions that your products got or the conversion value over cost, meaning the ROAS. So you are unable to see these columns when you try to go and set up within the product section, which is very interesting to me. And again, this is just another level of automation. However, in my opinion, this may be more of a double-edged sword, and here's exactly why. Because Google is now taking a lot of the control away from you and taking the control in its own hands, Google is going to be the one determining a lot of things like the bids, which products to show, which product not to show, and even the performance of the products as to which product is doing well. I mean, you don't even know that anymore with the performance max campaign. So technically, it is a really good thing that the machine has become so smart that it can make all of these decisions. But again, it is a double-edged sword, because now you don't have control over that campaign anymore. And if it just starts to perform well, you have limited data as to figure out why this is is happening. So it's really best in your interest to proceed with caution when starting a performance max campaign, because it does take out a lot of this control aspects from the campaign as a whole. But don't let that stop you from trying performance max campaigns, because what I have seen so far results wise with my own client stores as well as my own e-commerce store with performance max campaigns has been nothing less than absolutely amazing, because performance max campaigns are the powerhouse of Google Ads. Now, what do I mean by this exactly? Before the creation of performance max campaigns, you really had smart shopping campaigns to work with, and what you could control was the target ROAS. Now, it's no different with performance max campaigns. That's really the only number which you can directly influence. But with performance max campaigns, it is taking you to a new level of automation. With this brings a lot of machine learning. So what I mean by this exactly is, now instead of you having to do a lot of the manual work, the hands-on work within the campaign, Google is going to be taking care of that for you. It is going to be using all the signals that it is getting from these different placements, all of these different actions that people are taking on your ads. It is going to kind of decipher all of it and decide what is the best way to go in terms of the campaign itself. And the beauty about a performance max campaign is it is sort of a search campaign infused with a Google standard shopping campaign, all mixed together with a bunch of these other placements to give you sort of this like a fruit cake with all of these different fruits that you can eat. And I know a lot of people hate fruit cakes, but in this case with Google Ads, this fruit cake can be one of the best things you try in terms of the performance. But now that we got that kind of out of the way, let's start by talking about exactly how you can really begin to use them. So the strategy really stays extremely simple with performance max campaigns. You don't have to be doing anything crazy. You don't have to be going out of the way to try something you have never tried before with your Google Ads account. What I personally recommend and what I've seen work with performance max campaigns is the following. You want to be selecting a few products from your store. Ideally, these products should have gotten you some kinds of results previously, so they might be winning products that you have in your other shopping campaigns, or just products which you have seen sell on other ad platforms. And what you want to do is you want to create a list of 5 to 10 different products. Of course, the more the better, and this is the same for smart shopping campaigns, but you want to create a list of these products and you want to infuse them inside this performance max campaign. But here are a few things to keep in mind. With these winning products, you want to, number one, make sure these products are not running inside any other shopping campaigns or even smart shopping campaigns, because a performance max campaigns overpowers a standard shopping campaign and a smart campaign. So that is the difference between a performance campaign and a smart campaign. Performance campaign is number one in Google's eyes. But number two, make sure these products have something in common. You don't want to just throw a bunch of random different products inside a performance max campaign hoping that it works, because at the end of the day, a performance max campaign is working solely off of the data that it gets, solely off of the machine learning. And you want to make the machine's life easier, because again, a machine is a machine. It is not a human. It doesn't know what the right bid is for a certain product. It doesn't know that product A is completely different from product B. It is just going to determine these things based off of the signals that it gets, based off of the performance those products get within the campaign. So you want to make a performance max campaign's life easier by supplying certain products which have some kind of similarity. Now, this could mean that the products are in the same niche. This could mean they have the same profit margins, or keeping it very broad, this could mean that they have the same selling price. Just make sure these products have some kind of similarity with each other before you decide to insert them within the performance max campaign. But those are kind of the general criteria you want to be keeping in mind before starting a performance max campaign. But in order to get the best results possible with a performance max campaign, you want to be using a performance max campaign as a mixture along with smart campaigns and standard campaigns. So don't think that once a performance max campaign starts running, it's automatically going to solve all of your problems, because it's not going to happen. You're going to end up losing a lot of money. And if you're facing any kinds of these problems, let me know down in the comment section below, because I am answering every single comment you post. So I'm more than happy to help you with the comment section. And just a quick side note, performance max campaigns are something I tested with clients under my Google Ads marketing agency, Euro Marketing. So if you are doing around $30,000 in sales or more, and you want to take your e-commerce store to the next level with Google Ads, go on to my website at yorumarketing.com and book a free call with me to see if I can help you take your store to the next level. But Performance Max campaigns, again, a mix with smart campaigns as well as standard campaigns, as long as you make sure that this Performance Max campaign does not have the same products as your smart campaign and your standard campaign. So these campaigns can work side by side together as long as there is no sort of interference with each other. And I highly recommend you have all three campaign types running inside your Google Ads account, because what is going to happen is Google Ads is extremely smart. It is going to look at all of these campaigns from a very big, broad perspective, basically an eagle's eye perspective. Look at it from the top, borrow the data from campaign A to use in campaign B, then borrow the data from campaign B to hopefully try in campaign C. So what Google, in simple words, is doing is it's kind of using the data all together from all of these campaigns to make each other smarter. It happens in the back end while we're really not aware of it. So you really need to be making sure that these smarter campaign types have some sort of manual campaigns to go hand in hand with them to supply them the data that they need. And again, a Performance Max campaign is a mixture of search campaigns as well as a shopping campaign. So technically you don't really need to be launching search campaigns, especially if it's like a branded search campaign anymore, if you have a Performance Max campaign running. But enough of that, let's start talking about exactly how to launch a Performance Max campaign. I'm gonna be taking you step by step through the entire process. So right now, as you see on my screen, I'm actually inside of one of my Google Ads clients accounts, which is again under my agency, Euro Marketing. What you need to do in order to create that Performance Max campaign is, from this screen, you want to go ahead and click the plus button right here to create that brand new campaign, and you are going to select the first option, which is new campaign. Once you do that, you will land on this page. Now there's again a variety of different objectives. As an e-commerce store owner, your main objective should always be sales, unless you like to lose money and you want to run a website traffic campaign. Once you go ahead and choose the sales objective, we are going to go ahead and click continue. Make sure purchases is chosen right over here. Once you do that, on the bottom screen right here, it will say select a campaign type, and you should see Performance Max as the second option. If you don't see this, go ahead and contact Google support, because it may not be fully activated for your account yet, but this needs to be shown in order for you to choose it. So you're going to choose Performance Max, you're going to choose your account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the first account right here, which is connected to this Google Ads account. Select the country where you want to run this Performance Max campaign. So we're going to choose United States, and you can give it just a random name. So what we're going to do is we're going to name it Performance Max, and I'm going to name it testing. And nowadays, for the naming convention, I like to put in today's date just to make it clear as to when this was launched, what the results are, and so forth. So today is the 26th when I'm recording this video, so that's what I'm going to put, and we're going to hit continue. Once we do that, we will be taken to this page right over here. Now, first things first, on the left, you will see some different menus. The first menu is budget and bidding. This is where we decide the budget. This is where we decide the bidding strategy. Next one, campaign settings. Third one, asset groups. That is where we basically create that search ad. Fourth one, extensions. And fifth one is the last one, summary. So let's start with budget. Normally, for a Performance Max campaign, I recommend a budget of $50 a day or more. Now this account is in euros, but we're just gonna assume it's in dollars. We're gonna start it at around $50 a day. That's just the ideal budget to have in 2022 and onwards for a Performance Max campaign. If we come down now to bidding, you will see that with a Performance Max campaigns, your options are very limited. First things first, you don't see any of those manual bid strategies like manual CPC, maximize clicks, and so forth, because here, this is a smart campaign. You only have the option to choose conversions or conversion value. And like it says, conversions are actions on your website. So of course, sales, that's what that means. Conversion value means revenue. If you want more revenue, you would choose this. If you want more sales, you would choose the first option. For the sake of this example, and normally what I do is I just click conversions because I want more sales. I don't necessarily want more revenue. Of course, that's a good thing, so it might be worth a try, but we're gonna go with conversions. I like to leave this box unchecked initially because this Performance Max campaigns, if it's the first time I'm launching it, has no real data to go off of. So we wanna leave the window open as to what kind of audience Google goes out and finds. So I like to leave this unchecked. We're gonna click next. Once we click next, we'll come down here to locations. It's a very simple menu right over here, just a few options you need to change. we're gonna choose United States because that's where we want to sell this product in. So we're gonna check United States. We're gonna come down here to languages. Now leave languages on English, but notice for United States, it doesn't let you choose the option of if the person is living within the country or if they're just visiting the country and so forth. That's just one downfall of Performance Max. It's reducing the amount of things you can do. So that's that. But come down here to the final URL expansion. This is something new with a Performance Max campaign. If we read what it says use final URL expansion to get more conversions from relevant searches. So Google will automatically update the headline for each ad to match search intent and drive to the best landing page for a conversion. So you can either send traffic to the most relevant URLs on your site, or you can only send traffic to the URLs you provided. So I normally don't like to do this. I just like to look at the first one, and this is kind of a smarter option, just letting Google do its thing. So I recommend choosing that option. And if you click more settings, it will tell you exactly if you want to change that schedule, if you want to set a start and end date and so forth. I don't do anything here. So we're going to click next. Now a set group, you can just name this ad number 1 or whatever you like. So we're just going to name this ad 1. And now this is where we get to create that search ad. But this search ad is a bit more advanced because here you need to add 15 different images. You need to add up to 5 logos in different sizes. If you click on this question mark right here, it will tell you the recommended sizes, and I recommend you add all of those sizes, which is recommend. Same thing for these images. Add these different images up. But you might be thinking, what kind of images should you be adding for a Performance Max campaign? Now, for the images, you want to keep things simple. If you're a fashion brand selling clothing for women only, you might want to make it more of a brand related image. So something with just your logo, with your main banner image that you have on your home page, and again, just like a tagline that you may have for the store. So in reality, what this would have is just the banner image from your home page with your store's name, like as in a logo on the main banner image, along with the tagline. That's pretty much it. For these images, you would just add them in 15 different sizes. Of course, you can play around with different images, maybe have different colors for it, different tagline steps up for you to do. But this is normally the strategy I would take. And for logos, very self-explanatory. Just have your logo in different sizes. For videos, now you can have a video here. This is not really mandatory, but I highly recommend you add a video. Just having one video is completely fine. Again, read over here what it says, because videos allow your ad to run on more networks and they're more likely to increase your performance or revenue and sales. For the video, you want to keep things very simple. Just have a video related to your brand, maybe talking about one of your products, maybe a review one of your customers did. And if you don't have any reviews, you can go on Fiverr and hire somebody to make a review for you. And this is going to do the trick here for the Performance Max campaigns. I highly recommend you do have a video and you invest a few dollars. Shouldn't be more than $10 to $20 if you do decide to go on Fiverr and hire somebody, but just add that video in 5 different sizes, or maybe just have that Fiverr person record the video with different kinds of wording or a different kind of script as a whole. So that's up for you to do. I highly recommend it. Now for the headlines, you can click on view suggestions as to what it wants you to do, but you want to keep things simple for the headline. And I'm going to create a headline really quick as to what I would do for my own store.
5 hours later.
All right, so I went ahead and created a headline, but I also ended up creating the rest of the ad as well, which I'll go over very shortly. But for the headline, you want to keep things very simple. Just have a punchline talking about exactly what kind of products you sell. For the sake of this example, we're assuming I sell women's tops. So what I did is I wrote premium women's tops, and Google, we're gonna assume, is my store's name. So you wanna, of course, replace it with your store name, whatever the case may be. So we're keeping things very simple and straight to the point. Premium women's tops, Google. So this is just signifying a lot of brand identity because I have my store's name right over here, along with exactly what I sell. And I'm making it stand out a bit because I'm saying premium. So this is giving it that luxurious feel that I need to get that high quality woman purchasing my products. That is what you want to be doing for headlines. Now, I recommend having up to 5 headlines. Just use whatever Google is giving you. Use all of those slots up because it's going to perform much, much better. Moving on now to long headlines. Again, use up all of these 5 different slots, but here's what I did for the long headline. I said, the perfect tops for the perfect woman. Slay your style and be classy with our new tops. Again, very straight to the point, very professional, but also talking directly to that woman that is the perfect audience and making it be filled up with emotion. Because again, nobody buys a top just to buy a top. They buy it because of how it makes them feel, how it makes them stylish, and so forth. So copywriting will go a long way here. But make sure again to fill up all of these 5 long headline slots. Moving on to description. So with the Performance Max campaign, you have the ability to create a short description as well as a long description. So I recommend you do that both. For the short description, I wrote, all our tops were designed for that hardworking woman. Again, keeping things very simple, only a 60 character limit. So you want to keep things short and to the point while making it emotional. Long description, you can be a little bit more specific, elaborate a bit more. So I say right from the beginning, take your fashion game to the next level this summer with our special tops. And I say free shipping. You can also say things like made in the USA, organic, natural, etc. Whatever things you want to add right over here. And again, use up all of the description slots the Performance Max campaign layout is giving you. And now moving on to call to action, you can leave it on automated, but just to be safe, I do like to click on shop now. Unless you want to give Google more control and let it test out different things, you can leave it on automated. But moving on to business name, make sure your store's name is chosen right over here. You can just add your business name. And if you click on more options, it should give you an HTML5 option, display path. You can go into this and change it as you like. I normally don't need to do that because if you have things done correctly over here, it should be enough to get you the results that you want. Now moving on here to audience signal. If we read what it says use an audience signal to reach the right audience faster. Start by creating or adding an audience. So what this is saying is if you go to your tools and settings on the top, if you go inside the audience manager section, you have the ability to create different kinds of audiences. If you go ahead and get that done, which by the way, I highly recommend you do, you should be doing that for warm traffic as well as hot traffic. So people who visited your website but didn't purchase, people who added to cart, people who checked out but didn't purchase, so forth. Create a bunch of these different audiences because the Performance Max campaign is going to use those audiences and the data that it has to make this campaign smarter, to go out and find similar people to those within that audience. So it's extremely beneficial for you to do, and I highly recommend you do that. If you want a video as to how to make these audiences, let me know down in the comment section and I might make a video on that. But once you do all of these things, click next, because now this is where you add those site link extensions. And for the site links extensions, you want to keep things simple. You want to target things like, for example, if you have different types of fashion products that you sell, like shorts, hats, shoes, and so forth, you can say things like shop shorts, shop shoes, and so forth. You can have also certain colors right over here, like things like 24/7 customer service, free shipping, fast delivery, and so forth. These are all ideal for the site link extensions. You can also have call extension, and if you click more extensions, it should give you the option to have all of these other extensions. I recommend you add as many extensions as you possibly can, because again, the bigger you make your ad look, and in this case we're talking about search ad, because Performance Max, if you don't remember, is a mixture of shopping as well as search, the better it is going to be for you. But go ahead and click next, and now here is where you want to look at all of these things. Make sure all of these things are correct. And if you look right here under listing groups, it says all products. If you don't want to target to all products, you can go in once this campaign has been created within the product group section and target the specific product which you want this campaign to run for. Alternatively, what you can do is you can go to the asset group section, and from here under listing groups, it should say all products. You want to go click this pen button, and you can use a selection of products. If you just click that, it should let you choose between different item IDs. Go ahead and write your item IDs out, which you want to target, and just choose them right over here. So this campaign will only target that. But that is pretty much it for the setup of the Performance Max campaigns. Nothing else you really have to do, but I highly recommend you spend a good amount of time setting it up the correct way, using all of the features the Performance Max campaigns layout is giving you, and using all of the slots like for headlines, description, and so forth, because at the end of the day, that is what is going to give your Performance Max campaign room to grow and scale and become smarter over time. But once you have set up this Performance Max campaign, what is exactly the next step? The next step for this Performance Max campaign to reach its maximum potential and to eventually succeed is for you to not touch it at all for the next 7 to 14 days. Yes, I said it. Don't touch the campaign for the next 7 to 14 days, because in my experience, what I've seen is a Performance Max campaign initially might not really start off on the right path, meaning it might be unprofitable for a few days and it might just be losing you money. But it is important for you not to panic and to go back to the fundamentals of what a performance max campaign is. At the end of the day, a performance max campaign is run on systems, it is run on the algorithm. So it is obviously going to take a bit of a longer time for it to really become smart, and you want to respect this time and just let it run for the 7 days to the 14-day time period. I recommend 14 days. But that is exactly why you want to be starting off this performance max campaign at a budget which you can handle for the next 7 days. So if you can handle $50 a day ad spend and be fine spending about $300 to $350 a day, possibly at a loss, then launch it at a $50 a day budget. If not, maybe launch it at a lower budget. But after 7 to 14 days, you want to be watching some of my other videos on optimizing the performance max campaign. And if you want a video as to how to optimize a performance max campaign individually, let me know down in the comment section, and that is something I can do. Or you can also reach out to me on Instagram and let me know through my Instagram. My Instagram is @dedicatedyoung. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. But that is pretty much it for this ultimate guide with the performance max campaign. If you want to take your e-commerce store to the next level, maybe you don't want to go through all of this and you want somebody experienced to do it for you, then do reach out to me on my Google Ads marketing agency, yourmarketing.com, and we can see if we're a good fit to work with each other. But if you found any type of value in this video, destroy the like button and destroy that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.